Have you ever thought that after 70, your learning days are over? That it's time to just relax and enjoy the quiet? In fact, there are hidden costs to stopping your pursuit of knowledge. And I'm not just talking about memory. These are things you've worked hard to protect all your life. Your sharp mind, your sense of purpose, your connection to the world. And now they might be quietly slipping away inside a system that tells you to just take it easy. Some seniors embrace lifelong learning, staying curious and engaged. But even in the best-intentioned retirement, something subtle happens. You stop being the student of your own life. And that change, it doesn't always feel like relief. It often feels like loss. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 powerful reasons why you should think twice before giving up your intellectual curiosity and moving into a purely passive existence after 70. These are not scare tactics. They're eye-opening truths backed by experience, research, and the stories of thousands of seniors who've lived it. From declining cognitive function to emotional setbacks, from silent isolation to painful regrets. Each reason paints a picture of what life can really look like when you no longer actively engage your mind. If you've ever wondered whether continuous learning would bring you vitality or strip away what really makes you feel alive, this video is for you. And if you've already started hearing yourself or others say, "I'm too old to learn new things," it's even more important that you watch until the very end. Because when you're over 70, every decision matters, and your next chapter should be one you choose, not one that's chosen for you. Why lifelong learning is your best anti-aging strategy. For many of us, retirement is seen as a time to finally put our feet up. But while rest is important, completely disengaging your mind can have unintended consequences. Your brain, much like your muscles, thrives on activity. When we talk about lifelong learning after 70, we're not necessarily talking about going back to college. We're talking about mental agility, keeping your mind sharp, adaptable, and quick. Cognitive reserve, building a buffer against age-related memory decline and even conditions like dementia. Overall well-being, a stimulated mind supports emotional health, social engagement, and a deeper sense of purpose. The good news is that your brain is incredibly resilient and capable of learning new things at any age. Let's explore the reasons why keeping your mind active is your best anti-aging strategy. Reason number 1, preventing cognitive decline and boosting brain health. One of the most heartbreaking things that can happen as we age is the slow, quiet erosion of our cognitive abilities. The sharpness of mind, the quick recall, the ability to solve problems. All those mental faculties that once seemed effortless. But here's the truth. For many seniors, this decline is not inevitable. It's often a consequence of a lack of mental stimulation. Why continuous learning is so crucial. Neuroplasticity. Your brain has an amazing ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Learning new things actively promotes this neuroplasticity, keeping your brain flexible and efficient. Cognitive reserve. Engaging in mentally challenging activities builds a cognitive reserve, which acts like a buffer. The more reserve you have, the better your brain can cope with age-related changes or even early signs of neurodegenerative diseases. Improved memory and focus. Regularly learning new skills or information strengthens your memory pathways and improves your ability to concentrate. Imagine your brain like a garden. If you stop tending to it, weeds grow and the plants wither. But if you keep planting new seeds and nurturing them, it thrives. The importance of this effect becomes clear when considering how mental inactivity contributes to memory loss, confusion, and even more serious conditions. Dr. Allen, a 75-year-old retired professor from Ohio, shares how embracing online courses in history transformed his cognitive health. Before, he noticed his memory slipping and felt less sharp. Within 6 months of consistently learning new topics, he noticed his recall improved, he was quicker in conversations, and his overall mental clarity returned. This real-life example highlights how a simple commitment to learning can have a swift and tangible impact. Psychologically, the act of choosing to learn reflects a deeper commitment to self-care and resilience. Seniors often face discouragement when cognitive limitations arise, but embracing learning empowers them to regain control. It's more than mental exercise. It's about rekindling the confidence that comes from feeling sharp and capable again. Incorporating learning is straightforward. Whether it's picking up a new language, learning an instrument, taking online courses, or even mastering a new recipe, the key is consistency. Regular engagement over days and weeks will promote lasting improvements in your brain health. For seniors keen on protecting their cognitive function, lifelong learning offers a natural, accessible tool that supports mental vitality. Reason number 2, maintaining a sense of purpose and identity. It's easy to assume that after retirement, our purpose fades and our identity becomes solely defined by our past careers or roles. But what's often overlooked is the emotional cost of losing that drive to learn and grow. For many seniors, stopping learning doesn't just signal a change in daily routine. It marks the beginning of a quiet downward spiral in emotional well-being and a loss of self. Why it's so crucial to avoid meaning and fulfillment. Learning gives us new goals, new challenges, and a reason to get up in the morning. It provides a sense of accomplishment and meaning beyond daily tasks. Evolving identity. Our identity isn't fixed. Learning allows us to explore new facets of ourselves, develop new skills, and continuously evolve, keeping life exciting and relevant. Combating boredom and apathy. A mind that is not engaged can quickly become bored and apathetic, leading to feelings of emptiness. Let me share the story of Evelyn, an 82-year-old widow from Arizona. Her daughter thought focusing solely on relaxation would be best, but within a month, Evelyn stopped reading her mystery novels. She used to go through 2 a week. She stopped participating in phone calls with her church group. She even avoided going to the community center, saying she felt like her spirit was aging faster than her body. Evelyn didn't need more rest. What she needed was intellectual stimulation, purpose, and her sense of identity. But when she stopped learning, those things were almost impossible to maintain. It's not the fault of the people around her. They were often well-meaning. But the environment itself often fails to provide what older adults need most. Not just comfort, but meaning. The loss of intellectual independence, the feeling of having nothing new to explore, and the ever-present reminder of a shrinking world can create a low-grade depression that's hard to shake. And when emotional health declines, physical health often follows. Studies show that seniors who experience depression have a significantly higher risk of developing chronic illnesses, experiencing cognitive decline, and even dying sooner. The heart and the mind are deeply connected. When one dims, the other tends to follow. Keep growing, keep shining. Reason number 3, fostering social connection and preventing isolation. One of the quietest yet most devastating shifts that happens after stopping active learning is the loss of social connection. Most seniors don't fully grasp it until it's already happening, until their social circles shrink and they find themselves with fewer reasons to engage with others. Why it's so crucial to avoid shared interests. Learning new things often involve joining classes, clubs, or groups, which are fantastic avenues for meeting new people who share your interests. Conversation starters. Having new knowledge or skills provides fresh topics for conversation, making interactions more engaging and meaningful. Intergenerational connections. Many learning opportunities, especially in community settings or online, bring together people of all ages, fostering valuable intergenerational relationships. When you're in your own home, your social life might be active, but if you stop pursuing new interests, you might find fewer reasons to step outside your comfort zone and meet new people. Let me tell you about Tom, a 76-year-old retired firefighter from Pennsylvania. After suffering a mild stroke, his family encouraged him to focus solely on recovery and rest. At first, Tom was grateful for the support, but within a few weeks, he started to feel isolated. He missed the camaraderie of his old volunteer groups and felt he had nothing new to talk about with friends. His grandson suggested an online photography course. At first, Tom was hesitant, but soon he was sharing his photos in an online forum, connecting with people from all over the world, and even joining a local photography club. Tom once said, "I didn't know how much I'd miss learning until I started again." It opened up a whole new world of people. And it's not just about choice, it's about dignity. When you no longer have new experiences to share or new ideas to discuss, you start to question whether your contributions matter at all. This erodes self-respect, and that loss of agency can quickly spiral into frustration, withdrawal, or even quiet rebellion. Psychologically, humans need connection to thrive, especially as we age, when so many other things like mobility or health might limit traditional social outings. Maintaining some level of intellectual engagement becomes even more vital. Without it, people feel like they've become passengers in their own lives, with no say in the destination. And here's the most heartbreaking part. Many seniors who stop learning also stop seeking new social interactions. They don't want to feel out of touch, so they silently accept a shrinking world, nod and smile, and inside, they begin to wither, not just physically but emotionally. That kind of silent surrender eats away at a person's sense of self. When you're actively learning, even if you need a little help, you can still engage with the world on your terms. And that matters because the moment you feel like your voice no longer carries weight, you start to lose the very thing that makes life feel worth living: your identity. Connect, share, and thrive. Reason number 4, enhancing adaptability and navigating a changing world. While many nursing homes are staffed with compassionate caregivers, the reality is that institutional neglect is far more common than most people realize. And it doesn't always look like abuse in the traditional sense. In fact, it's often invisible, subtle, and systemic. Missed medication doses, unreported bed sores, long waits for assistance, and a general lack of emotional attention. Here's what people often forget. A nursing home isn't a family. It's an institution. And institutions run on protocols, shifts, and numbers. Even the best-intentioned staff members are often overworked, underpaid, and asked to care for far too many residents at once. Imagine being responsible for 10, 12, or even 15 seniors during a single shift. No matter how much heart you have, you simply can't be everywhere at once. That's when mistakes happen, not out of cruelty, but because the system is broken. Let's talk about Evelyn. She's 82 and used to be a school librarian in Ohio. Stay flexible, stay empowered. Reason number 5, cultivating joy, curiosity, and emotional well-being. One of the most overlooked consequences of stopping learning after 70 is the quiet but steady erosion of joy and curiosity. It doesn't happen all at once. It starts small. Maybe you stop picking up that book you meant to read. Then you decide not to try that new recipe. Your intellectual challenges begin to shrink until your day no longer feels like it holds new discoveries. And when that sense of wonder fades, your spark, the part of you that's still hungry for life, begins to dim. The human need for joy and curiosity doesn't disappear with age. If anything, it becomes more important. Because joy isn't about being entertained all the time. It's about having a say in the things that matter to you. What new ideas you explore, what skills you master, how you spend your mornings, whether you want to delve into a complex topic or simply learn a new card game. Let's consider Robert. He's 74, a retired carpenter who spent his whole life building homes with his hands. After his wife passed, his children encouraged him to simply relax. At first, Robert tried to adjust, but he quickly realized he was no longer finding new things to be curious about. Days felt monotonous. If he wanted to work on a new woodworking technique, he felt he was too old to learn new tricks. Robert once said, "I don't feel like I'm living anymore. I feel like I'm just waiting." That one sentence captures the soul of the issue. Without curiosity and new challenges, days bleed into each other. You stop looking forward to tomorrow. Your identity, so carefully built over a lifetime, feels ignored or erased. The loss of personal curiosity also impacts health. Numerous studies show that seniors who feel engaged and challenged, even in small ways, have lower rates of depression, better physical health, and a stronger sense of meaning. Conversely, environments that strip away opportunities for new learning often lead to learned helplessness, a psychological condition where a person stops trying because they believe nothing they do will change their situation. This isn't just theory, it's lived experience. Residents who once enjoyed gardening, walking their dogs, painting, or reading in a favorite chair often give up those pleasures when they move into a place where such routines are discouraged or impossible. In contrast, seniors who remain at home or in community environments that honor their independence and encourage learning tend to stay mentally sharper, physically stronger, and emotionally more resilient. Curiosity is tied to vitality, and vitality is essential at every age. When you seek new knowledge, even the smallest bits, you reinforce the truth that your life still matters. You're not just passing time, you're still living it with intention. That's a powerful thing, and it deserves to be protected. A passive existence might offer comfort, but that comfort often comes at the cost of personal growth and joy. And once that spark is gone, regaining it becomes an uphill climb. That's why many experts now advocate for active aging models, programs, and setups that allow seniors to stay engaged with flexible support systems. These models don't just help with physical needs. They preserve the emotional core of what makes life worth living. Choice, purpose, and the ability to say, "This is how I want my life to be." Keep your spark alive, keep learning. Final thoughts. Your mind, your legacy, your life. Visual. Host back on screen, looking serene and confident. Uplifting, harmonious music swells. At the end of the day, this isn't just a video about learning. It's about how we choose to live, grow, and honor ourselves as we age. It's about the quiet power of maintaining dignity, freedom, and meaning, even when society tries to tell us it's time to settle for less. And it's about recognizing that you still have choices, that your story isn't over, that your presence still matters, and how you live your later years is entirely up to you. Aging doesn't mean surrendering. It means evolving. But in places where your mind is unchallenged, your curiosity is stifled, and your individuality is flattened for the sake of routine, it's hard to feel that evolution. What makes life worth living? Learning a new language, mastering a new craft, understanding a complex historical event, discussing new ideas with friends, or simply discovering a new author is often what disappears first when we stop actively engaging our minds. That's not how it should be. You've probably noticed that none of the reasons we discuss today are just about logistics. They're about the soul. They're about your spirit, your relationships, your sense of identity. They're about how deeply you still feel alive. And when you place yourself in an environment that slowly strips those things away, no matter how comfortable it is, something inside begins to dim. That's not inevitable. It's avoidable. There's an old saying that goes, "We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing." That play might look different now. Less running, more reading, less traveling, more gardening, but the spirit behind it is the same. It's the spark of curiosity, the courage to choose your own path, the belief that life still has surprises left to give. And trust me, it does. So, take this message to heart. Rethink what it means to age well. It doesn't have to mean giving up control. It doesn't have to mean a stagnant mind or a shrinking world. It can mean morning coffee with a new book. It can mean taking an online course in something you always wanted to learn. It can mean waking up and deciding for yourself what new thing you're going to explore today. You're still here. You're still capable, and you're still writing your story. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today, and how you plan to use in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.